Read a smile behind my mask. How long will it last? Stimulus going fast. Government won't act. How long will this be?
Aloha, this is Skye, your Soulful Progressive with FNN-Feminist News Network, that feminist news that's right for you. Welcome to Skye in the Ahi Room, giving you that soulful news you need, yes indeed. And if you haven't told a friend to like and subscribe and get that soulful news that soulful way, you better let them know you can get it today. Yeah, click that link below and you can see over 4 years worth of videos. Now, what is it I want to talk to you about today? What is going on today is September the 11th. And just like generations before us that told us where they were and what they were doing when Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and JFK got killed, today I'm going to tell my story of what was going on with me during 9/11, like you hear from so many others during this time. So, I was living in a southern city, and I had two twin PNC buildings in that city. And the day before, as I was preparing for an interview that morning, I was a young 27 to 29-year-old trying to come up with two children, going through it, realizing that the system wasn't made for me to make it. Today, you're hearing stories from a lot of people about what they were doing during 9/11. And mine is just another one of those stories with a slight twist. The day before, on 9/10, I was coming out of the grocery store. I lived in a city that had two twin PNC bank buildings, and I would see the UPS planes fly over me all the time. But on this day, when I came out of the grocery store, I looked up into the bright blue sky and I saw a plane going into two twin buildings. I thought maybe it was the twin PNC buildings from my city I lived in, and I did live in the city. And it was a vision. And I didn't understand the vision I saw. But I just went on. And that morning I had an interview with a print shop because I wanted to print my own books, and I thought the best way would to get a print job, but I had no experience, so they didn't even give me a chance. But I would have been the first black person to work there if I was hired, so you know how that goes. So I was a assistant to a teacher in an English as a second language class full of young men from Africa. I rushed to work, and we saw it on the television in the teacher's lounge. And the first plane had already hit one of the towers of the World Trade Center. But then I saw the second tower hit. And while they're going in close on the buildings, I thought I was seeing debris coming out of the buildings, because there was a short period of time where, the buildings stood still before they fell. And when they got close up, I thought it was debris, but the tragedy and the trauma was to realize those were people jumping out of that building. Those were people jumping out of that building. I'm going to say it again. And when you notice that, the humanity of how they wanted to end their own lives before the building did, not knowing what was going on, that was traumatic. That was very traumatic for me, to watch people jumping out of buildings from the 110th floors of a 200-story building. So the next day, and I saw it all. I had a sister-in-law and a mother-in-law that worked at the Pentagon for the Department of Physical Fitness. Their part of the Pentagon didn't get hit, so they were spared, and there was no trains, no nothing. They were told to just leave, and they had to walk all the way home to Springville, Maryland. Yeah, all the way from the Pentagon. And I knew about the field in Pennsylvania. And the next day I noticed none of the young brown boys were in my classroom, and they weren't there for about a month. And finally, one of the older 60-plus-year-old guys showed up, and I'm like, what happened to him? And he told me his truth. He said that they were detained, they were locked up, and he didn't know what happened to him after that. But those boys never came back. I don't know if they were sent to Guantanamo, deported, or what happened to them, but they never came back. And then people started looking at me, questioning me if I was Muslim because of the way I looked. And then I kept thinking, well, is somebody going to poke into my background because I had married somebody from UEA, and his middle name was Muhammad, but we had since divorced. But, you don't know what people are thinking. When I saw those boys disappear, I got scared for my own life. And that's the reason why I moved to Hawaii. So I can not be persecuted for the way I have lived my life and the people I have loved. And that's my truth of what happened during 9/11. And if you have anything to say about that, leave your comments below and let me know at FeministNewsN@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and that Facebook page. And remember, I'm that Soulful Progress one on Twitter, got that rant of the day on Blogger, and I'm no longer that one-woman team. Thanks for joining. I read those comments, and I appreciate you for subscribing. Yeah. Now, if you care to donate, I got that memo at Skye Soulful Progressive and the Zelly too. Just email me and I'll tell you what to do. Now, remember, in this era of hate, you're going to have to participate. So more stories can be told all over this place. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Peace.
September 11th changed the world. Let's think through our actions today so that this does not spiral out of control.
See the smile behind my mask, how long will it last? Stimulus going fast, government